The mammary glands are modified sweat glands present in both sexes. It is rudimentary in males and functional in females. A pair of mammary glands is located in the thoracic region. So the mammary glands are the modified sweat glands that are present in both male and female sexes. It is functional in females and rudimentary or non-functional in males. Then where is the location of these mammary glands? It is located in the thoracic region or the chest region. It contains glandular tissue and variable quantities of fat with a median nipple surrounded by a pigmented area called the areola. So the mammary glands consist of the glandular tissue, variable quantities of fat and with a median nipple. Again the nipple is surrounded by a pigmented areola. Several sebaceous glands called the areolar glands are found on the surface and they reduce cracking of the skin of the nipple. So you know the function of sebaceous glands, they are the oil secreting glands. So the sebaceous glands called the areolar glands are present on the surface of the nipple to reduce the cracking of the skin of the nipple. Internally, each mammary gland consists of 2 to 25 lobes separated by fat and connective tissues. So, internally the mammary gland consists of 2 to 25 lobes. So, in this diagram you can see a bunch of grapes, that is the lobes. Okay, so each mammary gland consists of 2 to 25 lobes separated by fat and connective tissues. Each lobe is made up of lobules. So, each lobe is made up of lobules which contain acini or alveoli lined by epithelial cells. That bunch is called a lobe. Okay, so nearly 2 to 25 lobes are present internally in the mammary gland. Each lobe is made up of lobules. A bunch or a lobe is made up of lobules which contain acini or alveoli lined by epithelial cells. Cells of the alveoli secrete milk. So you should remember this point, from where the milk is secreted. The cells of the alveoli secrete milk. So the internally mammary gland consists of 2 to 25 lobes separated by fat and connective tissue. Each lobe is made up of lobules which contain acini or alveoli which is lined by epithelial cells. The cells of the alveoli secrete milk. So how the cells of the alveoli can secrete the milk? So here some hormones are involved. So here the pregnancy hormones cause the milk ducts to grow in number and size, which is induced by the hormone prolactin. The alveoli take proteins, sugars and fat from the blood and make the breast milk. So first we learned one point, that is the alveoli secrete milk. The cells of the alveoli secrete milk, and also some hormones are involved for the triggering or the prompting of the mammary glands to secrete the breast milk. So here the hormone prolactin induces the alveoli to take proteins, sugars and fat from the blood supply and make the breast milk. Then now first we learned about the lobes, then lobules, then alveoli. The alveoli opens into mammary tubules. The alveoli opens into the mammary tubules. The tubules of each lobe join to form a mammary duct. So the acini or alveoli which secrete the milk. The cells of alveoli secrete the milk. The alveoli opens into the mammary tubules. the tubules of each lobe. So we learned 2 to 25 lobes are present. The mammary tubules are, the alveoli opens into the mammary tubules. The tubules of each lobe. So from each lobe the tubules join to form a mammary duct. Several mammary ducts join to form a wider mammary ampulla. Again, the mammary ducts join to form a wider mammary ampulla which is connected to the lactiferous duct in the nipple. So, we learned about the alveoli opens into mammary tubules, a tube-like structure. The alveoli opens into tube-like structure, that is the mammary tubules. Again, the tubules of each lobe join to form a mammary duct. Several mammary ducts again join to form a wider mammary ampulla which is connected to the lactiferous duct in the nipple. So you know, from inside the cells of alveoli the milk is secreted. It should reaches the nipple for the feeding of the baby. So here the several mammary ducts join to form a wider mammary ampulla which is connected to the lactiferous duct in the nipple. Under the nipple, each lactiferous duct expands to form the lactiferous sinus. So under the nipple, each lactiferous duct expands to form the lactiferous sinus which serves as a reservoir of milk. So which is the reservoir of milk? That is lactiferous sinus. Lactiferous sinus is the reservoir of milk which is necessary for the secretion of milk cells of the alveoli. Again, each lactiferous duct opens separately by a minute pore on the surface of the nipple. So, each lactiferous duct opens separately. So, you should remember in the nipple, the lactiferous duct opens separately by a minute pore or opening on the surface of the nipple. So, you should remember number of openings will be there for the feeding of milk on the nipple. Not only one opening or not only one pores. Each lactiferous duct opens separately by a minute pore on the surface of the nipple. Normal development of the breast begins at puberty and progresses with changes during each menstrual cycle. So the normal development of the breast occurs only once the organism attains maturity. Then in non-pregnant women, the glandular structure is largely underdeveloped and the breast size is largely due to amount of fat deposits. So in a non-pregnant woman, the glandular structure is largely underdeveloped. The gland, you know, a gland will be secrete something. A gland is an organ which will secrete something. So if it is a non-pregnant woman, the glandular structure will be underdeveloped and the breast size is largely due to the amount of fat deposits. The size of the breast does not have an influence on the efficiency of lactation. So we learned about the mammary glands. So it is the modified sweat glands present in both sexes. That in male it is rudimentary or immature, in female it is functional. A pair of mammary gland is located in the thoracic region. Again, it contains glandular tissue and variable quantities of fat with a median nipple surrounded by a pigmented area called areola. Again, several sebaceous glands called areolar glands are found on the surface in order to reduce the cracking of the skin of the nipple. Again, internally, each mammary gland consists of 2 to 25 lobes which is separated by fat and connective tissues. Each lobe is made up of lobules which contain acini or alveoli. Cells of the alveoli secrete milk. You should remember this point. The cells of alveoli secrete milk. the alveoli opens into mammary tubules. So alveoli opens into the cells of alveoli that secrete the milk, it should come out to the nipple. So again the alveoli opens into the mammary tubules. The tubules of each lobe join to form a mammary duct. Several mammary ducts join to form a wider mammary ampulla. The wider mammary ampulla is connected to the lactiferous duct in the nipple. Under the nipple, each lactiferous duct expands to form the lactiferous sinus, which serves as a reservoir of milk. So, which is the reservoir of milk? Lactiferous sinus. Each lactiferous duct opens separately by a minute pore on the surface of the nipple. On the surface of the nipple, each lactiferous duct opens separately. All the lactiferous duct opens separately by a minute pore on the surface of the nipple. Normal development of the breast begins once the organism attains sexual maturity. In a non-pregnant woman, the glandular structure is underdeveloped, but the breast size is large due to the deposition of fat. The size of the breast does not have any influence on the efficiency of lactation. Again, the pregnancy hormones prolactin is involved in this formation of milk, where this hormone induces the alveoli of the mammary gland to take proteins, sugars and fat from our blood supply and make the breast milk. So you should remember how the breast milk is formed, which cells are responsible for the secretion of milk and where it is stored. So the cells of alveoli secrete the milk, and which is a reservoir of milk? Lactiferous sinus.